Hello there, my name is Julie, you could call me Jubes, and this is my stack drawing process video selection. So I think by the time I did this one, I'd done a few wildlife drawings and a handful of people faces, and I think I'd at last mastered how to use the sticks quite well. I'm pleased. And then I used the pastel pencils for fine detail on top. So I hope you enjoy this process video. We'll have a chat at the end. Hey, on the floor again. I really do need a giant table. I've got one. I've got a dining table. I don't know why I don't do it on there. Anyway, so going for a big old stag. Unfortunately, well, I had the legs as well. I wanted to do that and sort of greenery there, but my paper is only 70 centimeters by 50. I'm impatient. I just bought loads of paper and I want to get on and do it. So, and I didn't want to do this any smaller to fit on this. But I mean, that's a small enough face as it is. So I'll just get this started. I'm sure I'll love it, but then I can do more. Although I've just had a thought. Bottoms. I was going to do it, the legs here, excuse my dirty carpet, and then here I was going to do all the sort of on the photo reference. You can't see the bottom of the hooves or bottom of the legs because there's green, and I was going to do my 3D paint pens things, sort of edge some nice long blades of grass here. Can't do that now because the edge of the paper's here. So if that's that, where do I put my 3D? I wanted to definitely do this as a 3D pen one. Yeah, I did some blue pastel over there. Oh, I'm gonna have to think about this. I don't know where to do it. Might have to just do this as a general pastel drawing with a bit of a sort of a dark going into light bokeh background. I mean, that would look nice. That's a start, isn't it? Yeah, then I can do another one, a giant one. Oh, that'd be brilliant. The giant paper is so expensive though. Apparently you buy it on a roll, so you can imagine how much that's going to cost. Why does that look dirty there? Oh, never mind. Doesn't matter. It'll be pasteled over soon. Good day. So, I just went to get the reference opened on my iPad. It's dark because it's night time and my lamp is tiny. And I opened it on TikTok. I know. I was there for 10 minutes looking at some funny videos. Anyway, I'm ready to start now. So I've traced all the lines. Gonna be a bit sketchy in the white areas. Then I'm going to do the eyes. Now the eyes on the original reference is very slightly closed. So I want to open them a bit, so I've got some other eye reference, and I want to make them a little bit larger, a bit of light popping out of them. And I want to make sure this is kind of a bit darker this side, light on this side. Anyway, that's the plan. And the bokeh background. Starting with sort of darker grass here, going up to lighter distant fields, maybe even a bit of blue at the top. Not sure yet. If I do the blue and I don't like it, I can always go over in green. That's the beauty of pastels. That was fun. Nice bit of scribbling. It's quite small, as you can see. It's like hand-sized. So not large areas of pastel to blend in, just little bits here and there. And I seem to have only one pale grey in my Cheapy Chip sticks. So, and I do know my pencils only have 2 greys and they're very similar to each other anyway, and they're both pale. So I'm going to have to probably add some black at some point to make it a little bit more grey. But I don't want to mess about at the moment. I'd have to use black pencil, so like around here there's more darker grey, so I'll use the pencil very lightly. Just figure that out. Or I'll probably put blue in there, knowing me. Anyway, at least that does look like a stag. So I'm going to get blending. So I've just spent about 5 minutes trying to do the correct swipe down from the top of my iPhone to pause my podcast, because with the updates they keep adding so many things, and if you swipe slightly more one way than the other it brings a different thing. Honestly, it's just all a bit overwhelming all the time. So I would say if your drawing ever looks like this and you think, right, well it looks like a stag, so I must have finished. No. If you think you've finished, no, you just keep on and on and on until you really, really can't do any more to it. Then you'll be finished. So I've just blended that in. It still looks a bit messy, but this is a really nice part now where I can get in with my pencils. Once I've finished with the pencils, I'll add a bit more of the brighter bits with the sticks. Just, you know, if anything's gone a little bit dull at all. And obviously I'll have to make these look rounded because they're very flat at the moment. And, so I don't know at what point I should be doing the background. Don't know. I think I want to do a lot of detail here. Not the edging, but just the bulk part. Yeah, maybe just the face, I think. Once I'm happy with that, then I'll do the background, and then I can finish the antlers and the body and the edging. That's the plan. Oh, I have done some eyes there. Bright little eyes. Right, yep. I've been covering it in blue. Love it. Well, the nose is quite grey, but when you look closely, grey and black can often have hues of blue. So I'm in there. If blue's there, I'm in there. Some nice shades of blue. Don't know what, yeah, I should blend it in. I should blend it in, really, shouldn't I? I might have to do a finger rather than more sponges, although to be honest, the majority of my sponges are blue. So I can sketch. I can actually sketch pretty well, usually just with a pencil, but it's not really something I'm bothered with. Not really something I want to do. And if I was doing this as a sketch, it would look a lot better than this. But because this is basically, I won't say a sketch, it's the under colour. So I call it the under scribble. And that's why it is so scribbly. But it's fun. I know it will look nice at the end and with sort of good detail. I do have to make this stag pop out of here though, so I'm going to have to think carefully on my shades for the background. Do I really want it to stand out with a really dark background? Do I want to sort of mid-tones like on the photo? So this is the thing. Anyway, so I'm still working on the face, done all the scribbly blue. I'll blend that in and then it's down to detail with the pencils. I've whizzed ahead and done some layering for the background. Just random. Didn't look any reference, just sort of light blue, then going into dark, distant fields, and then it was getting a bit brown, so I popped a bit of green there. So I'll blend all that in and then see what else I want to do next. Oh, cat at the door. Oh my gosh, I'm getting very sketchy landscapey. That's not me at all. I'm quite liking the whole look and the colours, and this is before I've put all my detail in. Well, you know, some people do paintings like this because it kind of looks painty, doesn't it? And they would do that. Oh, it's a flap again on my phone. Sorry. And that would be the finished article. So I'm liking the colours though. I did all the browns and the blues and the greens. Then I thought, because I'm never very heavy on it, so it's never very solid and it's a bit patchy. I think, oh, okay, so add a bit of red and pink. Why not? It's just, you know, just the little skibbity-doo bits. Some random bits here as well. So, yeah, just doing that. I'm not going to blend that in at all. I'm just liking the colours though. It kind of does give a look of, you know, fields going into the distance. I'll fiddle around with that a bit more. Then I'll get on to the detail here. And, you know, my 3D pens. And this was too short, no legs, so I couldn't really do the going around the leaves with the 3D stuff. Well, I thought of doing the antlers in the 3D. Just to make them stand out, because I think even with the best will of, you know, doing shading and whatnot, they could still do with a bit of help, I think, to stand out. So this is what I fancy doing. I'm steaming a bit ahead now. So I've been doing just quite a lot of detail going on here, less down there. But here I've used, so I've got my white, I've got dark blue, a purple and a dark green. And just doing that, you know, you have this here and you think, oh yeah, that looks like a realistic stag. But then it's quite nice just not to have, you know, a couple of browns and a cream, just to have all those extra colours. Don't know if you could see there, little bits. Actually, is that a bit yellow? Oh, I don't know, who knows? Yeah, I just love the way all the colours just work so well together. And the nose is black in reality, but in the photograph reference and here it's, you know, it's quite mauvey. So I sometimes just do a little bit more of whatever colour I see, a little bit stronger. So once I've finished all this and got the shadow and the lighting done, I'll then do a bit more shading on here. Oh, sorry, you can see some shadows of something. Oh, the shadow of my lamp. So yeah, I'll just do the shading of this. Then I'll look at the background, whether I want it to be a little bit more muted, to keep nice bright colours, a little bit more muted, not that there's any detail anyway, but even blur it even more. Then I'll do the 3D on the antlers to make them stand out quite a bit. I do like the colouring around here in the background. I just randomly chose colours. I didn't think about it too much, but they're quite nice and sort of fiery and autumnal. Right, now the white pencil, the Pitt pencil, once you do everything, it's not like a brilliant white. But if you get lovely soft chalk like this is Jackson's. The only thing is, it's a big old stubble, which is not great when you're doing a drawing this big, or this small, I mean. But if you can see there on the ear, I sort of tufted it out, which is actually quite nice because it gives the illusion of like little chunky bits of fur. So I've not bothered to blend it in or even sharpen this to a point or anything. You know, just the little bits here and there and the little bits above the eyes. Just really lifts it all. So I think I'm pretty much done with the stag body. What did I say? I was going to do the background first. I think I need to move these things that are causing shadows because that's quite annoying. I'll do that, yeah. Right, as I said before, I don't want detail in the background. I want it to be kind of more blurred. But I'm just getting a already dirty little spongy thing. spongy fella. I'm just doing this, just, you know, making little tree edges, which are a bit more realistic than my blobs. So that's quite fun to do. Just, oh, my noisy wardrobe. I really should get my easel out of the garage. So that's fun. And this is just, the colour that it is just naturally like that. So it almost looks like in between the trees. So that's good. I may or may not add a little bit of lightness there, tiny little bits. But yeah, this works really well for just, it sort of gives it that rounded edge like the trees in distance, and also blurs it a little bit, which is so much better than it was. That's looking a lot better. I wonder if what would happen if I do that there? Oh no. Is that getting rid of some of it? Not really. Not really. So my, oh, should I, no, I think I'm gonna stop there. I don't want to do too much faffing in the background. Like I said, I don't want it to stand out, just a nice sort of distant colour. I just don't know what to do with the sky. It's gone a bit blue and then it's gone a bit grey. Although this will stand out and this will pop out really nice once that's finished. I'm a little bit limited on my blues. I wonder if I should do a kind of a turquoisey. Oh, I might just add a bit more there. I don't know. I've already added quite a lot there. It's a little bit messy, patchy. That's fine. Yeah. Well, I'll come back to that in a minute. I just decided to use just a golden yellowy pencil, and I'm just very lightly doing some areas, so it's like the gaps in the trees where the light's shining through, just so slightly. It just makes it look a little, you know, less flat and lifeless, so that works quite well. I won't overdo it. I should do some line bits like the, I don't know, no, just the blurry bits. There you can see there's a little bit more substance to it. Now it looks like trees and bushes in the distance. So I think I'm done with that part. Yay, I've finished! No more faffing to do. I'm just going to take it into another room so I can put it on a table and then do the 3D pen paint stuff around the antlers, and then I can just leave it to dry overnight and do some photos tomorrow. Okay, right, not on the floor for a change, on a proper table in my lounge. So I've brought my little lamp in because it's getting dark outside and it's not a big bright light in here. This is the colours I have. I have to think about what colour to do. My first thought was maybe gold, so not necessarily, you know, really dark or anything, because I don't really want too much dark around here. And what do we think? We do have a nice gold. I think that's my first choice. White would be no good. Black would be no good. A colour would be just peculiar. So I think it's either got to be, and I think my cream is a bit, have I even got cream? No, I've got yellow. Ivory, I think that's too white. I think it's got to be antique gold. There we go. I'll do that now. But first, look, been in my dressing gown all day. Look at the mess. This is terrible. I should have just folded up my sleeves, but that's real life pasteling for you. There we go, all edged. My top tip for when using this stuff, the squeezy stuff, pen, paint, whatever, is blow your nose first, because you'll be leaning over, and be prepared to stop breathing while you're doing it because the concentration will be crazy. And make sure your light is good. This probably wasn't ideal because then you get directional light. Then if I'm doing it here, then it's shadowed on the area that I want to do. So I had to keep moving it around. So it's probably best to do it in sort of very good daylight, I would say. So you can see all the way around and your arms not blocking the light. And push your sleeves up. Don't have anything flopping down, no jewellery, no hair. And then, yeah, gold was a good choice, I think. Just need to do some good photos now. Okie dokie. What noise does a deer make?
So what did you think of that then? I just feel that the sticks work so well with drawing fur. When it's of a picture of this size, you do need to have a certain size because if it gets quite small, then the pencils are coming to their own. But yeah, I'm going to do more of these, and I hope you liked the 3D paint edging on it. I know that was almost made the stag look like it was like a cutout and stuck onto it. I'm not sure, like good or bad. But it made it stand out anyway, so I was pleased, and I'll see you on the next video.